So we're going to remind you about some interval notation, right? So if I have absolute value of x is greater than or equal to 7, we want to write our two cases. You write 1 just as it appears without the absolute value bars. Kate, be quiet. And then we have or. It's a great or, right? Great or equal to. Then we flip the inequality and change the sign. Right? So flip it and switch it is what I like to say. Michelle, who wrote these notes for us, calls it the KISS method. Keep it, switch it, switch, switch. Keep it, switch, switch. I like switch it and flip it personally, but whatever works for you, doesn't matter. Ralph, question?
Why use the 7 become a negative?
Because what's the absolute value in negative 7?
7?
Yeah.
X has the absolute value, not
Is it equal to?
That's
They're both equal to, right?
yeah.
And it's or, right? So it's one or the other when it's an or inequality. And when it's less than, it's an and inequality. So the solution is where the graphs overlap. Or inequalities generally go out like that. So it's this side or this side. Yeah.
Would negative x is less than or equal to 7 be correct? Still or no?
Say that one more time. Quit whistling, weirdo.
Does negative x is less than or
Are you trying to attract somebody? Is that why you're whistling? Is it working? I hope it's working for you. Okay.
So would negative x is less than or equal to 7 be correct?
No, that would not be correct. What? Do we have open or closed dot on our graph? Closed dot. Negative 7, closed dot. Positive 7, closed dot. If I see a little open hole in the middle of your dot, I mark it wrong. Just so you know, so fill that sucker in all the way, okay? Because if you try to mess with me, I just mark it wrong. It's fine. You can try, but it won't work. So we're going to go less than goes that way. Greater than positive 7 goes this way.
You put it at negative.
Oh, I sure did. You know the beauty of the iPad? I can move it. Haha. Buy an iPad. They're great. I'm very helpful, I know. So you should definitely buy an iPad for college, though. It's the best. What is the smallest number on this side of the equation?
Negative infinity.
Negative infinity. So that's what I write within my absolute or my interval notation. Begins at negative infinity and goes to
It goes to negative 7.
negative 7. Good job. Now, do we have a squared off or parenthesis here?
The square.
Bracket, right? Square that sucker off. So we have two lines. We have to write two sets of interval notation. So you have to, right? And then we start at 7, squared off again, and it goes to what?
Infinity.
Positive infinity. Yeah, technically. Yeah. You should have this union thing in the middle, but yeah, you can write it. Okay, so x is, we're going to make our two cases on the next one. X is less than 4. This is a less than. This is how I remember and, right? I make it into an and, so it means the graphs got to overlap. Okay, sometimes in Algebra 2, the graphs will go the same way. So if it's an overlap, it's where this one catches up to this one, where they're both true, or it's where it would be where one of them starts is the or part of it. So we have x is greater than or equal to negative 4. So we're going to make a closed dot at negative 4. We're going to make a closed dot at positive 4. What happens to the two dots? They connect. So when I write my interval notation, it's much easier to write than the previous one. They're both squared off. Oh, we're going super fatty writing. Negative 4 to positive 4. Anybody, when you're in elementary school, get into the bubble writing? Ladies, bubble writing in elementary school? You remember you make your letters look like bubbly? No? That's not a thing anymore? Arel did. Good. You did. I know you did. You're like, not at all. Okay. So what do we have to do first? What's the first step say? First step is what?
Isolate the absolute.
So what do I have to do? I got to add 5 to both sides. I'm isolating the absolute value. Okay? We get 4x. Then I'm going to write my 2 cases so I can skip some steps because a lot of steps get irritating. So 4x minus 8 is greater than negative 16. Oh, you know what I learned today? Remember how our test average was 81? You know what Miss Sharrow's test average was? Way higher. It was like 90. We need to beat her. Okay? My students are better. She has 2 classes. I have 3, but all my classes were around 81. I need at least one of you guys at 90 next time. Okay? Make it happen. Make it happen. Because I'm better. That's why. Okay? I used to compete with Miss Voss all the time as well, and I'd win. I'd win. You know it. But Miss Cheryl works a lot harder than I care to work, so there is that. Okay, so we're going to get that variable by itself. So we get 4x, what's 16 plus 8? 24. Good job. Way to add. 4x greater than negative 16 plus 8? Negative 8, right? Negative number's bigger, so it has to be negative. Then we divide both sides by 4. So the only irritating part about this is sometimes you have to check for extraneous solutions. Do you know what that means? You have to take your answer and plug it back into the original equation and see if you get the same, like a true statement, then it works. But actually, with the inequalities, you won't have to do it. With the equal sign, you will. So now we have to, it says solve graph and write in interval notation. So we're going to graph it next. So we have negative 2, we have 6. Open or closed? Open or closed dots? Open. At negative 2, where's the arrow go? Because it's just less and greater? It's not equal to? Do they connect or go out? Connect. It was a good try.
How do you know?
How do we know? Because I look right here at negative 2, right? This arrow goes, oh boy, that was weird. Let's get rid of that. This arrow goes like that, right? So that means this arrow goes that way. And then the 6 one goes the other way, so that's the intersection right there. So when we write the interval notation, we'll write it in the giant letters. It's in between negative 2 and 6, and they are not squared off. Tricked you. They are parentheses. Why? Why are they parentheses? Because it's not equal to, right? Then they're parentheses if it's not equal to as well. I guarantee like 20% of you will make that mistake on the test. Any weird little detail like that, kids tend to overlook it because you get so stressed out in solving the problem correctly, like you miss some of those little details. Okay, try this one on your own. Get her done. Sounds like somebody's watching a movie. That doesn't happen in math. The only math movie we can watch is Donald Duck and Math Magic Land. It's full of geometry. Yeah. One of them, I think it's Donald, is playing pool. And they do all sorts of geometry, like the angles of the shots and everything. At least that's about the only part I remember, to be honest. When's your play?
It opens on October 2nd.
It's, what, 2 weeks?
Yes.
You got the time crunch going, huh?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
And it's exciting. October
I know.
2nd, opening night is my birthday.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
It's really
That's awesome. You know who wouldn't know that about you, Tanner?
yeah.
Never, right? See, I ask. It makes you motivated, right? I show I care about you, right? But it's not just because I'm trying to like work you over, right? It's because I truly do, right? It's not fake. I'm like, what's going on, man? That's cool. Yeah, right? Way better.
Much.
Welcoming, friendly environment, except for those two. I just make fun of them all the time, that's all. And they give me that little funny smile and we just move on. It's okay. I said nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so does it say graph and interval? Yep. You can. I'm just writing the answer down here. You're good. If you want to change that fraction into a decimal, you can, or you can leave it as a fraction. If I care on a test, I'll tell you.
When we have like an uneven fraction like that, what do we do again?
Just divide it in your calculator. That's all. 3 divided by 2. If it's one you can, or if you were at the 12 divided by 8, you hit math, enter, enter, and it'll reduce it for you. So you just go 12 divided by 8, math, middle left, enter twice. Did you write interval notation too? Because I forgot too. I was trying to hit the brackets again.
What's 3 divided by 8?
3 halves.
What's 3 divided by 8?
32 divided by 8 is negative 4.
I'm so smart.
I'm glad you think so. If you need to check, there it is. Don't look, Arel. Oh, I thought he'd look for sure. He didn't look. Did you see where your little mistake was? I saw that look in your eye. You know, something went wrong, right? Yeah, I could tell. You know, it's weird too, Jada. Like, I can feel questions. You know, like the intuition sort of. It's bizarre. Like, I'll just walk over to you one time and be like, what's your question? And you're like, I didn't ask. And then you look and you're like, oh, it's strange. Question radar. We good? Do you get this? Oh, question. Yeah, fire away. If you do what?
This is 3 halves. If you multiply 3 halves by 8, because if you plug it back in 1, that equal 12 because it's plus 4.
So 8 over 1 times 3 over 2 would equal 24 over 2,
12.
which is 12. Then, but because this is a less than, it doesn't, it just, your answer has to be less than, and then it's true. Right, so we get 12 plus 10, which is 22, absolute value of 22. So technically that would be, so we would get 22 plus 3 is 25.
Yeah,
25 is not less than 25. Interesting.
that's what I was confused about.
I like that. Because it would have to be equal to for it to work.
Yeah, so that's what I was confused
Oh,
about.
that's interesting. I haven't ever confronted that before. I'll look it up and see. I like it. Good job. Thinking man. Thank you. The thankless job, right? I know, right? It's the worst job ever.
Wait, $10.
They can't even hold the bag open for you? What kind of help do you have? Hold on, I gotta help this kid out here. Okay. We're going to do example number 2 next. Right there. Okay. So when I look at example number 2, I think about crossing off the variable part of it, right? and I have to get rid of this plus 5. How do I get rid of that? Minus 5. Subtract 5 first. You can multiply by 2. The thing kids forget when they multiply by 2 is they go like this. What's wrong with that? What did they forget? They forgot that, right? So if you multiply by 2 first, you have to multiply every single part by 2. So don't do it that way because you just mess up. There's no need to mess up. So we go 6x, absolute value 6x plus 3 over 2 is greater than 9. Now what do I do? Times 2. Do I multiply that 2 into the absolute value? You better not, because then you get it wrong. So now I'm going to make my 2 cases, right? So I get 6x plus 3 is greater than 18. Second case, 6x plus 3 is less than, I forgot the 3, plus 3 is less than negative 18. And then solve, right? Minus 3 divided by 6. You get a lot of fractions with these, just because when you make that second case, many times you get a fraction. Not every time, but many times you do. We've got lots of reducing coming up. If you have a graphing calculator, how do you reduce a fraction? What do you hit? You go 15 divided by 6 and you hit what?
Graph.
No.
Chart.
He's just making words up now. Monkey. Math, enter, right?
Solution.
Math, enter. So you can divide 15 and 6 by what? 3. 15 divided by 3 is? 6 divided by 3 is? 2. Do you think both denominators are going to be 2?
Yeah.
They sure are. So 21 divided by 3 is?
7.
And 2. Okay? Then we have to graph it in interval notation. What was your favorite? So negative 7 halves over here. If you want to change it to decimal, I don't care. But why would you? You don't need to. So where do the arrows go? In or out? Out. Less than negative 7 halves, so this way. And greater than 5 halves, so that way. So when we write our interval notation, we say negative absolute value to negative 7 over negative 7 halves. And yes, there should be a union symbol there. That is true.
Wait, isn't that supposed to be a square in front because it's negative infinity?
Square?
Or no, it's supposed to be round.
It's always rounded at infinity. Yeah. You threw me there. I was like, what? So just like that, right? Open dot, so everything's a parenthesis. All right. Do that next one on your own. Bust a move. Bust a what? Uh-oh, they got the giggles over there. It's a kiss of death. They get the giggles back there too. Thought I had that thing up the whole time. What's up?
We use brackets on where it's not, right?
Correct. 3/4. Is that what you got? That means no? That's okay. Yeah. The only time it's not really okay if it's like 1/3, so it's 0.3 repeating,
Oh, yes.
because then it's not really accurate, right?
Yeah, when it's like uneven, like where it's like 6/8, I just.
Yeah. Then you just divide, reduce, you're good, or divide the numbers, you get a terminating decimal,
I
you're
had
good.
that, it was just 0.7.
Yep. If you wrote 0.75 right here, totally fine.
Wait.
Right, so it's okay if you say 0.75 instead, totally fine. Totally. Good?
I used to get so confused with these. I'm like,
We got 2 more story problems, then we're done. They're easy though, the story problems. Once you know how to do them, they're easy anyways. What?
I used to be like so confused with these on the weekend because like I just like couldn't understand the equations, like what you had to do before doing this.
Now it's easy, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that
It
nice?
actually just makes sense.
Yeah, it's good. That's good. Okay, so easy. Story problem. Do we all get that down? Any questions on that? We good? Okay. All right. You can find out how much sleep you need by going to sleep without turning on an alarm. Once your sleep pattern is stabilized, you record the amount of time you sleep every night. The amount of time you sleep is plus or minus 15. And you sleep 8.5 hours per night. Definitely a teenager. So you sleep less, it's less than, the only issue here is we have minutes and hours, right? And we can't have mixed units. So we're just going to turn 15 minutes into a fraction of an hour. What fraction of an hour is it? 1/4. As a decimal, it's 0.25, right? You can get that by just doing 15 divided by 60, right? And you get 0.25. Right? So that's what goes after this inequality. Right? Because you're going to sleep in between 15 minutes more than 8.5 hours and 15 minutes less. That's why it's less than or equal to. So you always have absolute value. We have x and 8.5. What's the sign in between, minus or plus? If it's plus, what do you have to do as your first step? And can you sleep negative hours? I hope not. That would really suck. Right? No, thank you. So that's why it has to be minus, because we have to add 8.5 as our first step. So if you get confused by that, you just do that first step of the problem. You get a negative number. You're like, well, that doesn't make sense. And you switch the sign. Okay, so don't get all wigged out about it. Some of you do, but try not to. No need for that. So 0.25 like that. Case 2 is x minus 8.5 is greater than or equal to 0.25. We add 8.5 to both sides of both equations. They kind of have to make these equations a little bit easier because they'd be a nightmare to set up otherwise. Oops, I forgot the 8.5 over here. So on the left equation, we get x is less than or equal to 8.75. On the right equation, we get x is greater than or equal to 8.25. So this, when it's a less than or equal to, it's an and inequality. And this problem up here is definitely an and one because you sleep in between those 2 hours, right? So we have to just graph this and then I'll get your question. So 8.25 over here, 8.75 over here, and then open or close dots? Close dots. Connect or away? Right, greater than 8.25, less than 8.75. You still have your question?
Yeah, don't you have to make the 0.25 on the right side?
Negative. See? Good job. Got to make that negative. So I subtracted it correctly anyway somehow. But right, so I forgot this negative right here. So just make sure you have a negative right there. So you don't have to write interval notation. The question does not say. It says just write it on a number line, so you're good. This next one, all we have to do is write the equation and solve it. It actually just says write an absolute value inequality. It doesn't even say solve it, does it? Okay, so we go absolute value x. It's going to be less than or equal to 3. 58 in the middle. What's the sign have to be in between the x and the 58? Minus. So all it said was write an absolute value inequality to represent the range of percent. So do we need to solve it?
No.
Nope, we just write it and we're good. Yeah.
Wait, since this is like 58%, doesn't that mean you have to make it 0.58? Or is it just 58?
No, because both of these, that's a good question, right? Both of these are in percent. So as long as we keep it in percent, we're good. You could change them both to decimal if you want, but the problem's in percent, so you should keep it in percent. Yeah. Okay. There's your homework. I believe I need to check these 3 assignments, but I'm not positive. I'm going to check because sometimes I check one class more than others. I should really like stamp the top of your homework or something, so you know it's been checked, you know? I have stupid little stamps somewhere, about like 100 packs. What I want is weird stamps. Weird. So I stamp some weird on the paper, not like that, really just unusual. You ever watch old school like Batman, when they punch each other or go like, they're pretty. Like I'd like a stamp like that. And then you'd be like, what's wrong with you? And I'd say, wow. Don't forget to sign out. James, what up? Yes. You want to see it or you just got a question? Okay, let's look at it. Oops. You touch that thing and it goes crazy. It's all good. Right there.
I have a question. Like, go with why on some of them do you make the like this one negative, but some of them you don't?
This one, once I got the absolute value by itself, so you have to do it after you get the absolute value by itself, right? So I got the absolute value by itself, I made it negative here. This one I made negative there. And I forgot. So Hurry pointed it out for me. I forgot the negative right here, but once you pointed it out, then I remembered.
Yeah, but what about that one?
Which number is that? Before example, that was this one?
Yeah, we
The
did
try?
say that.
Yep.
I got it right.
So you always like flip the inequality and change the sign,
That's weird. I got it right.
even though you didn't switch it.
Yeah.
When you did, so you did 22 minus 10. You should have got 12
Yeah, I did.
then. Only 2 out. Sorry, you gotta wait. Haha.
I'm not entirely sure.
Good point.